Hello and welcome. My name is Power. If you're Indian or if you know Tamil, you'll understand what it means. So that's my name basically. Alright, so a quick um, update before I start this video. So I don't know, maybe some of you might know me from my previous channel, which was Son Gamers, SAWNGAMERS. So yeah, I'm back. Gamer S is back. So basically, I've started my own like video series here. Like I'm starting to do videos again about gaming, obviously. So yeah, there's been some like things that I wanted to review and funny videos that I wanted to make and like gaming topics that I've been wanting to talk about because I really miss doing videos. So yeah, yeah. So about Sound Gamers. So basically, there was a lot of shit that happened with it, and there was a reason. There were some reasons why I stopped making videos for it. So to those 50 subscribers that were on that channel, uh, this is just a heads up for you. You might want to come and join me on this channel instead because I'm starting afresh here. So yep, here we go. So today's video is about arcade games. Yep, let's talk about arcade games. All right. So, talking about arcades, that's where like two of my loves came to fruition, I guess you can say, which was cars and video games. Okay, so yeah, when I was young, my late dad, my late father, he brought me to the arcade and he sat me on his lap and we played Daytona USA. So yeah, that was my first experience into gaming and cars. So yeah, so I wanted to just like talk about it, like the state of arcades in the past. It's kind of like a nostalgia trip. This video, and also I'll be talking about some games of the modern era. So yeah, like mostly about just arcade stuff. So yeah, so here we go. So okay, um, yeah, let's delve into Daytona first. Okay, so that was my first game. I was very young. I was maybe 4, 5, 6 years old, maybe I think. So very obvious, one of the classic racing games. And yes, I'll be showing like examples on my tablet PC. Please ignore the cracks on the screen. I'm working with stuff that I already have. So yeah, okay. So Daytona USA, very classic game. It's a racing game. Came like this, or there was a bigger version that looked like a car. And yeah, it had manual transmission and auto. So one of the most classic games ever. So yeah, I really miss playing this. It's kind of rare to see this. I'm from Singapore, by the way, so arcade games are a bit more like common, I guess. But like, I want to explain further into that later because like I want to talk about how a lot of the good arcade games are missing now. So yep, yeah. So Daytona, I love the hell out of it. Yeah, I grew up playing it, and then as years passed, I became better at it, I guess, like learning and improving slowly as you age. So, starting off with the beginner course, and that was the best one. Like, especially when there's some asshole driving like backwards and trying to hit you. Yeah, that would be like the fun. There's just sore loser moments. Yep. So there's that, and then there are some other classics like the House of the Dead games. Those are amazing. And let me just tell you all first, like that was where I first got afraid of an arcade machine. Okay? This game that you see here, this machine here, this wonderful, wonderful machine that I think of now, alright? It gave me my first ever scare in life when it comes to arcade machines, okay? So I was just playing it randomly when I was a kid, after school probably, and I was like trying out. the game for the first time, and then what happened was when I got to the first boss, I got freaking terrified because of the heartbeat sounds that came. If you've played this game, you'll definitely know who I'm talking about. The first boss, yeah, the armored guy. So yeah, that was like horrifying moments. I got scared of it, but as I grew older, like the fears went away and the more interest developed on it. And then as time went on, more of the games came out. House of the Dead 2 was amazing. House of the Dead 3 was kind of iffy, like kind of meh because of the shotgun controls. And 4 was great. 4 had a good comeback with the Mac 10 controllers, I guess you can call them, which is kind of common in a lot of arcade games like during that era. And yeah, so there's that. And then you have its twin, I guess you can call it. I guess so, maybe. Lost World Arcade. Okay, this was my fucking favorite game. Okay, like I guess you can call it of all time. It's so classic. Okay, let me show you the machine. All right, so both these games came in like two variants. So one was a standing one like this, and this is the one I played most of the time. And then there was another variant that came in like a seated cabinet, I guess. So yeah, I had a problem with the seated ones because the guns were to the sides. They were attached to the sides of the like the cabinet thing. So I had an issue because like I felt there was not enough like room for movement when it came to like aiming your gun because it's like attached to the machine itself. So I felt like the standing one was better. So that's why I prefer the standing ones. And yeah, I would be crazy enough to play these two games were the ones that I was super crazy enough to do akimbo gun mode. So I'll play like do two guns at one time. And usually I can get through the whole game with one credit on two guns. So yeah, that's one thing I'm proud of, I guess. Alright, so since Singapore is mostly an Asian country, we have a lot more Asian games, I guess you can call them, or mainly from Japan. So since we're like quite kind of close, I guess. So another classic arcade game that we used to love playing was Bishi Bashi. This little beast right here. So yeah, you can see that classic guy's face there, and the buttons, and it was just basically a bunch of cool, random, funny mini games compilation that was fun to play. Like it was the best kind of thing ever. Like multiplayer fun. Okay, so yeah, there's that. And then let's come to this game here, which is called Crypt Killer, or it's also known as Henry Danger. Is it? No, Henry Explorers. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So yeah, I remember seeing this as a child in the arcade, and it had like the machine was like very big, and it had a cool like three shotgun controller. Looks like this. Sorry about the light. So yeah, it had like three controllers, like all were shotguns, and you hear the noises every time, like click clack click clack every time. Shotgun bear. So yeah, awesome game, and also, I mean, yeah, it was an arcade game, but at the same time, somebody has it on PS1. Woohoo! So yeah, it's my PS1 edition. So, but yeah, I don't really have the controller, like the gun controller for it, or the TV to support it, because it needs a CRT TV and also a Konami Justifier controller, I think. Yeah, but cool game, amazing game to play three players with. Okay, and next we are gonna talk about this game. It's kind of a rare one. I found it at the arcade that was near my current house, but way back when arcades were popular. So yeah, it's called Power Shovel. So basically, it's this machine, and what this game is if you know it, it's cool. Okay, so basically, what it is you play as a excavator driver, I guess, or power shovel. So yes, I have the PS1 version as well. Here we go. I guess that's an excavator, I think, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, I have this as well. Awesome game, like fun little like mini games included as well, where you have to like not just dig out dirt, but you have to make pizza using the shovel. So that was funny, like I guess Japanese humor, I guess. All right, next I'm gonna talk about these two classic shooting games, which are Point Blank, okay, and Time Crisis. So let me talk about Point Blank first. Let me show you the machine. Okay, this is a machine. It was basically a competitive shooter, I guess. Like also like mini games and all that, but you were supposed to shoot just the targets, and they will distract you with like some items like bombs or what that you're not supposed to shoot, or like targets that are like civilians that you're not supposed to shoot. So yeah, those were fun as well, like two-player competitive games and all that. And then after that was Time Crisis. So let me show you the Time Crisis machine. Okay, this one I'm gonna show you is Time Crisis 4 because that's like my favorite version. So yeah, it came in like two different variants. One was a large screen one, and then there was like the normal size screen ones. And steppy pedals. Always gotta have the pedals to step out and shoot the people. So yeah, one very important or I guess cool thing about it that I remember very well is that both of these games had guns that were like they had recoil, I guess, something like a recoil. So every time you shoot, or I wouldn't really say recoil, but rather blowback. Yeah, so they had these like blowback actions where every time you shoot the gun, the slide goes back and forth, like like how a gun actually works. So yeah, that was a really cool feature that these guns had. Like Namco shooters had these gun features to them, and they were super awesome. All right, so another classic arcade game that I remember from my past was this Japanese game called Surugi. Okay, so let me show you the machine first. Okay, so basically it was this kind of machine. It was kind of similar to like a Time Crisis kind of thing where they had the pedal and then but instead of a gun they had a sword like a sword handle kind of thing, and then it had a I guess an infrared sensor that got tracked by like camera lenses on top here, I guess. Like you see the black bars there. Yeah, it would track the movements of the sword, and that's how you like slash at the enemies and stuff. So yeah, that was a fucking awesome game. Like I really loved it a lot, and I still remember to this day. I still remember the first boss always, and this is a Japanese version, of course. Like the first boss always went Nani Mundu, and I was like, oh my god, I remember that shit so well. Like that sends me on a super nostalgia trip. So I love that a lot as well. All right, so those were some of my favorite nostalgic games, I guess you can say. But now I am going to talk about the modern ones that I still like to play. And the obvious one is still Maximum Tune. So it's a racing game by Bandai Namco. And yeah, I love playing it a lot. It uses a like card save feature that you can use to save your progress of your cars, like parts and like the horsepower and all that upgrading and tuning and stuff. So here's the machine. So it's a very cool machine. It has a six gear shifter, just two pedals though, not three. But it's okay. I mean, we don't really want to like drift using like three pedals on an arcade machine. It was more towards a arcadey fun racer than a simulation. So yeah, this is number five, but there's number six right arcades. So yeah, like awesome game. I still love it. Like the sounds, the songs, the sounds of the machine. Like everybody's just slamming those gears. You can hear the metal clack going on. That kind of stuff. Awesome stuff to hear in the arcades. Like arcades are not just a gaming experience. They are just like a visual and sensual. Not say I mean not sensual, but sensory overload. I meant to say sorry about that. Yeah, so a sensory overload, like you can hear, you can feel, you can see, and yeah. All right, so the final game that I'm gonna talk about is something that I played in 2018 or 19, I think. Yeah, I think it's 19. Yes, late 2019, so around October. I found out this machine at Vivo City in Singapore. So yeah, here we go. So this year is a unique one. Okay, this is Tomb Raider Arcade. So this game is fucking amazing. All right, you see there are four guns, so four people can play on this big ass projector screen, and yeah, um, I kind of okay. Let me tell you a story. I went to play this with my previous crush, so I tried it out with her. And let me just tell you one thing, like this game is amazing. Like I wanna play it again so badly, but I haven't gotten the chance to go yet because some other things popped up in my mind and my schedule. So this game is awesome. Let me just tell you first. It has this really cool reload style, I guess you can call it, or reload, like how you reload. Okay, so normally for games like House of the Dead and the Jurassic Park games, you just had to like either point away from the screen or you had to shoot be like away from the screen to reload your gun. Alright? Which is kind of similar style for like most like arcade shooters, but then this comes along and makes it a bit more interesting. So what you do to reload the guns in this game is basically you have to rack the slide. So each time you shoot the gun and you empty a clip, you have to rack the slide back so to reload. So it unleashed my inner John Wick. So I was like, hmm, how can I make this game more easier to play? It's more accessible to play. So what I did was I held the gun in two hand, like in one hand on my right hand, and I kept my left hand above the slide. So each time the gun empties, I'll just quickly rack the slide again, and I'll keep my hand there, like kind of like John Wick, I guess, like for easier access. So yeah. All right. So that's pretty much it about the machines for now. Like I still got a lot of like arcade machines to talk about and I want to talk about because it's all just coming to me. Like these are the ones that I can like think of right now that are coming to my mind. But yeah, I just want to say like, like for from the time that we've started playing arcade, this old arcade machines and all that, like a lot has changed. So like in the past you used to have like just maybe one token would get you through in a game, like like you just have to pay just one token. You exchange a shit ton of money and you'll get a lot of coins, and you just have to put in one token to just start playing. But these days it's like no, it's not like that. There are a lot of cash grab type of games, especially those ones that are like based off mobile games, or like like Crossy Road. I'm seeing Crossy Road, I'm seeing what cut the rope, that kind of stuff as arcade machines, and those really disgust me. Like keep your money grabbing ways away from my arcades, like seriously. Yeah, so I don't like those machines. I usually don't play them at all. But yeah, that's my opinions on arcade machines for now. I will be back. I might do a second video because there are still fighting games that I want to talk about, and like other games that I've not talked about that I still can think of. Especially there's this one tank game that I remember. It's called Tokyo Wars, I think, or Tokyo something. Yeah, it was like a tank cockpit, and then you like drive around and you just fight each other. Like there's two player versus and all that kind of stuff, or there's two player co-op, I think. And they recently made another tank game similar to that, but it was more cartoonish. But the previous one, the Tokyo Wars one, was much better, I think. Like it had this cool feature, like um, and I'm just saying this for like a little bit of context. So it was like a racing game, but you had to sit in a seat, and each time you press the fire button, the chair like goes back, like it boom, like it goes back. So it's really awesome, and I really miss those games. Like those machines are gone for now. Like they will just keep bringing in all those shitty machines that make them a lot of money. So yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I want to have my old school fun back. Like if I can get a chance to ever go and see all these machines that are from the past again, or like any arcades that still have them here in Singapore, I would definitely love to visit that arcade. But yeah, that's my video for now. Yeah, take care. Be safe, everyone. Okay? Powers here, baby. Take care. Bye bye.